Do you have problems sticking to a budget? Okay. I think the misconception with budgets is that they're restricting. They just make you say no to things all the time, or maybe you can't stick to one because it just never works. Maybe for some reason things always pop up, right? And so I wanted to cover how to stick to your budget when you have FOMO, when you're the fear of missing out, if it just doesn't work for you, how to keep trudging through if you do have a budget, if you've started that template, that outline, but something just isn't happening. So for the first part, FOMO, you have to figure out what exactly you're feeling like you're missing out on. Is it trips with friends? Is it the random brunches that maybe pop up on calendars? Is it when you see a course pop up online and you really want to take it? It's from this person that you love and follow and admire, but you just can't afford, you don't have the money. Whatever the thing is that you're missing out on, keep a mental note, maybe even write a physical note, and figure out what are those situations, those circumstances, those items that you're missing out on, because you want to make sure that you're putting a place in your budget to account for those things. If it's a vacation, for example, you need to make sure that you're saving for a vacation fund every single month. Even if you're not planning a specific vacation, you're still setting small amounts of money aside each month so that when something does pop up last minute, you can go. If it's the brunch example, then maybe you have either a brunch category, maybe you're really specific, or you can just include it in your restaurants category, but you're being very intentional. Okay, when I use this restaurant money, is something going to pop up, and maybe I won't have enough if a brunch does pop up, or maybe I just need to add a little bit of extra money to it every month for one brunch that pops up, because it always is about to happen. So I always know, like, okay, this amount of money is set aside for the brunch that no one ever plans but is always fun, and maybe it's after a night out or a last minute get together to celebrate something with friends, whatever it is. Courses, same kind of thing. Make sure you have a budget, something or a line item in your budget that says continued education, always learning, whatever you want. But you need to be setting money aside for those things. And if the second piece, if you find out your budget isn't working, then that just means you're not taking into account all the areas in your life that you are spending. So for example, if look at your last transactions and highlight all the ways that kind of threw your budget, like threw a wrench at your budget. Maybe it was, oh, I needed new tires this time. Maybe it was, oh, we had to buy extra groceries because it was Thanksgiving. Maybe it was, needed new clothing because now it's winter all of a sudden. Look at these items and say, okay, none of these are truly a surprise. Let's acknowledge that. And let's just be better and more intentional about planning. So around Thanksgiving, Christmas, I always have an extra groceries line item in my budget, because I know I'm always bringing not COVID times, but I'm always bringing a dish. And so I need to buy a few extra things at the grocery store, or I have to just go to extra parties or happy hours or whatever it is. So I'm constantly grabbing extra things. Maybe if it is the situation with the clothing, maybe you need to have a back to school clothing item, or maybe you need to have a winter clothing budget where it's just $100 or whatever, and you just know you can buy a new hat, mittens, and maybe a sweater or towards a jacket or something. So look at the ways that your budget's getting thrown out of whack, and try to account for it, and try to do a little bit of planning so that you can get ahead of it instead of it happening. You swipe your card, you're maybe going into debt, or you're just faced with that guilt of like, ugh, it's happening again. I can never get ahead. So, and make sure you're always putting a line item of miscellaneous or other, or when shit hits the fan, and you want to have like $50, $100, whatever it is, $20 in there every single month, so that if you do truly have random expenses, you can account for them without the rest of your budget going a little crazy. So that's it. Good luck, you guys.